I gotta agree with Aladdin here. Punctuality is a very important quality in a person. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. Today I'm going to be talking about Disney's 1992 animated fantasy comedy film, Aladdin. It stars the voice talents of Scott Weinger, Robin Williams, Linda Larkin, Jonathan Freeman, and Gilbert Gottfried, and was directed by Ron Clements and John Musker in their third directorial pairing. Aladdin is based on an Arabic folktale and tells the story of a young street urchin named Aladdin, voiced by Scott Weinger. Aladdin finds a magic lamp which contains a genie, voiced by Robin Williams, who can grant him 3 wishes. With some magical assistance from the genie, Aladdin must use his street smarts to impress the princess and save the city of Agrabah. You know how there are just some movies you really connect with as a kid? Aladdin wasn't one of those for me. Now hold on, before you storm off thinking I hate the movie, I don't. I watched Aladdin and sequels quite a bit growing up, but for some reason, I never really considered it a favorite of mine. Which, looking back on it, is kind of surprising to me, because it had a slightly adventurous story and quite a few animal characters, which were both always really big factors for me as a kid. Despite all that, I never loved it. It was certainly better than any of the other more standard Disney princess films, but I just never wanted to watch it as much as movies like The Lion King, Mulan, or Hercules. For years, I've been kind of confused about that. So many people I know consider Aladdin to be one of their favorite Disney movies, and thinking about the movie, I couldn't really remember anything specific I actually disliked about it. It was full of memorable and classic songs, it had Robin Williams' endlessly creative portrayal of the genie, and it had a whole slew of animal and carpet characters. So why didn't I love it? Well, I think I finally figured it out. As a whole, the film feels childish. Now, I know that sounds like a silly thing to say about an animated Disney movie, but the tone of Aladdin is extremely different from any other Disney release. Even though it focuses on a romantic coming of age and self discovery story, it plays out like a straight up comedy. And I have no problem with comedy. Most of my favorite movies are comedies, and I love the humor in Disney movies for the most part, but something about it in Aladdin just feels different. Much of the film's comedy stems from Robin Williams' work as the genie, so there's quite a bit more referential humor than the typical Disney movie, but that's not where I take issue with it. What bothers me is how overtly slapstick the rest of the comedy is. It's like the writers figured that the genie's jokes, impressions, and mile-a-minute references were good enough to cover all the dialogue, but then realized most of it would probably go over kids' heads, so they decided to throw in some visual gags to balance things out. Despite this qualm, I still really do enjoy this movie. I think Jafar is one of the most sinister Disney villains, and Jasmine was by far the best Disney princess up to that point. She still falls into a few of the classic tropes, but her independence and resourcefulness were things I recognized and admired about her character even when I was a kid. There was actually something she said that I had never noticed before but picked up on my rewatch today. It's during the scene where we're introduced to her. She's talking to her father about the marriage law, and she ends up saying, "If I marry, I want it to be for love." Now, think about that for a second. She's what, 16 years old, I think? So, for 16 years, she's grown up knowing that there's a law that's going to require her to marry a prince. But she still says if. If I marry. Not when I marry, but if. How awesome is that? So Aladdin might never have been my first choice when I was looking through my VHS tapes back in the day, and it's never going to be one of my favorite Disney movies even now, but it's still a movie that I can put on and enjoy. I can still root for Aladdin. I can still smile hearing Robin Williams again, and I can still wish I had a magic carpet to fly around on. Aladdin might not be the diamond in the rough for me, but I'm glad this movie isn't stuck in the Cave of Wonders. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. Pro number one has gotta be Robin Williams as the genie. He injected so much fun and life into that character, and I really can't imagine what the movie would have been like had he not gotten the role. He brought his signature blend of improv and impressions, which really sets this movie apart from other Disney films. It's certainly not the only movie to make pop culture references, but I think it's the most prolific in that regard. They might be anachronistic, and a lot of them went over my head when I was a kid, but now as an adult, I can really appreciate what Robin Williams did with the genie. The second pro is Jasmine. We had gotten a little rebellion with Ariel and independence with Belle, but Jasmine was the first Disney princess that I ever truly admired. She wanted to live life according to her own terms, and in spite of strict cultural and legal expectations, she still maintained and asserted her independence. Sure, she still fell into some of the classic Disney princess tropes like love at first sight and needing to be rescued by a male hero, but I think her character really paved the way for even stronger female characters like Mulan. On the con side, my biggest issue with this film is the slapstick comedy. It fits in the context of the genie and his magic, but it extended beyond just his character, pulling in very cartoonish physical comedy. Things like the narrator bumping his face into the camera at the beginning, or Iago flying into the wall and being temporarily flattened. Those kind of things felt suited for the Aladdin TV show, but seemed excessively goofy and juvenile for the movie. My second con is the Sultan's gullibility. It's so frustrating every time I watch the movie. I don't mind his happy-go-lucky personality, and I know Jafar had the whole hypnotism thing going on, but come on. The Sultan couldn't have looked at Jafar the first time he met him and thought, hey, I think this menacing-looking guy with a parrot and snakehead scepter would make a really great top advisor. I'm gonna give Aladdin 3.5 out of 5 paws. It's got a lot of things I like, but the goofy physical comedy and generic romance prevent this from ever being one of my go-to Disney films. I would recommend Aladdin to anyone who's a fan of the Disney Renaissance era. If you enjoy a more structured plot in your animated films, or want a more adventurous and comedic take on the classic princess story, then this one is probably for you. Also, if you like Robin Williams, you gotta check out his largely improvised comedy in this movie. If you liked Aladdin, I would recommend you check out both Pocahontas and Mulan for some more strong Disney princesses and adventurous plots. If you loved Robin Williams as the genie and want to see more of his referential impression improv style in a family movie, be sure to watch Mrs. Doubtfire. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1. Have you seen the original Aladdin? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, if you found the genie's lamp, what would your 3 wishes be? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information out of this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it so you can see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies, the way life should be.